Hey everybody, it's me, Jack, and the month of December has begun, so what better way to celebrate than review some more Christmas movies? I thought I'd kick these reviews off by reviewing one of my favorite childhood Christmas movies, The Polar Express. Based off of the book of the same name, The Polar Express was released in 2004, and I remember me and my dad going to see it in IMAX. I remember finding the movie a bit too loud at first, but eventually I got used to it, and it was an experience I'll never forget. And since then, it's become a movie that me and my family watch every Christmas. The plot of the film centers around a young boy who is never given a name, who is picked up mysteriously on Christmas Eve by a magic train known as the Polar Express. They're on their way to the North Pole to see Santa Claus, and along the way, a lot of things happen. This was the very first motion capture film that I ever saw, and I remember it took me a little while to really get used to it. I found it a bit weird. It's like the characters aren't totally animated, but at the same time they're not totally real. I remember when the film first began, I was like, oh, this is live action, and then we got close up to the characters and I was like, no, this isn't live action. The main reason this was done was so the film could stay true to the designs of the original book. And that's understandable. For the most part, the animation is still pretty good, though there are a couple of moments where it does look a bit creepy. Like this scene. Ugh, that's just disturbing. What about the characters? Well, the boy, yes, I'm just gonna call him that, because he's never given a name, is a very simplistic main character. He's the curious, wide-eyed individual who is introduced to all this magical stuff and, for the most part, just reacts to it. Admittedly, there's one scene that, even when I was little, thought was just stupid, where this girl that he likes decides to go to the back of the train to share her hot chocolate with this other boy, who's actually given a name, Billy, and she leaves her ticket there. Well, okay, that's no big deal. She'll just come back and get it. It's not like you need to have your ticket with you at all times. But no, the boy just decides, hey, I might as well just give it to her. And in the process, he ends up losing it. And I get it, it places a sense of guilt and responsibility onto his shoulders, but there needs to be a good reason why. Other than that, though, his character is fine. He is likable. At the beginning of the film, he isn't really sure whether Santa Claus is real or not. But throughout the film, he slowly starts to believe more, leading to the film's message, which is quite powerful. There's also the character of the girl. Yes, again, she isn't given a name, who he takes a liking to very quickly. Her character takes on the role of a leader. When she and him and Billy get lost near the end of the film, she's the one that takes charge. There's also the character of Billy, who's the poor kid of the group. His family is clearly not very wealthy, and he doesn't get that many presents. In easily one of the more emotional scenes of the film, he sings about this, and then the boy and the girl come and comfort him about it. Granted, the song is a bit out of place, considering that there aren't really that many others in the film, at least that are actually sung by the characters, but it's still a heartwarming moment nonetheless, and in the end, his dreams do come true. He does get presents. There's also the know-it-all kid who is really annoying in an entertaining way. There's also Tom Hanks as the conductor. At first he seems kind of grumpy and constantly gets angry at the boy whenever he delays their journey, though it's always for a good reason. But it's shown that his character is still a good person, and when they do arrive at the North Pole, he actually cries with happiness, which is a really nice moment. We also have the character of the hobo. His character also demonstrates the message about believing, as the boy tells him that he doesn't believe in ghosts before he realizes that he actually is one. And then the hobo gets him back by making this puppet Scrooge come alive and scare him. And it scared me as well when I was little. We also have Tom Hanks as Santa Claus, and Tom Hanks as the boy's father, and Tom Hanks as the boy himself as an adult narrating the story. Yeah, Tom Hanks is in this film a lot. You know, just because you can make him look different with motion capture does not mean he should play so many characters, especially when his voice is so recognizable for all of them. I love Tom Hanks, he's like one of my favorite actors of all time, but all these characters sound exactly the same, and it's really distracting. Even when I was little, I was like, why do the conductor, the hobo, Santa Claus, the narrator, and the boy's dad all sound the same? Anyway, he still does a great job playing all these characters. I don't think Tom Hanks could ever give a bad performance. But I think it would have been nice if they had gotten more actors to play these different characters. How is the motion capture? Well, again, I have been a defender of motion capture for quite some time, because while it can be a bit creepy at times, it nonetheless gives us some incredible visuals. I praised the motion capture in Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol, and it's just the same here. In fact, both of these films were directed by Robert Zemeckis. The film is definitely one of those movies that is best when you see it in IMAX. I remember seeing this in IMAX and I was just immersed into every moment. Granted, I don't remember everything, I was 4 years old, but even watching it on your television, it's still very engrossing. Scenes like when the train is racing down these really huge hills, or even just shots flying around the North Pole and exploring it, are really incredible to witness. There are a lot of really exciting scenes in the film. The most suspenseful scene in the film is easily the moment when the train gets trapped on top of a frozen lake, and the ice starts cracking, and they just barely make it out. The message of the film is also very powerful. The message about believing. Even when I was little, I was always confused whether or not the whole thing was a dream or not. At the end of the film, the boy wakes up and finds that there are no train marks outside. He also rips his pocket, which is odd because he ripped that exact same pocket before he got onto the Polar Express. Then he gets a present from Santa Claus, which he asked for from Santa, but unfortunately lost. When I was a kid, this always made me think, was it a dream or was it real? But the film portrays the idea of Santa not being real as not that bad of a thing, as Santa Claus is simply a symbol of Christmas, just like the bell. That's a really good message to give to kids, especially when you know the inevitable day that they're gonna find out that Santa isn't real. Again, the Polar Express is certainly a flawed film. The animation is a bit creepy, and there are a couple of character decisions and moments that don't really make sense. But the experience as a whole and the message that it invokes is what really makes the Polar Express worthwhile. The Polar Express will always be a Christmas classic for me, and I will watch it every Christmas till the day I die. I'm gonna give the Polar Express an 8 out of 10. So that's my review of the Polar Express. Tell me what you think of this film in the comments section down below, and join me next time for another review. I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time.